Alright, so we have graphed on paper a whole bunch of equations, whether the y is by itself or it's not by itself, so hopefully you're getting pretty good at that. Now it's time to use technology to help us out. We're going to be graphing relations using a spreadsheet. What's a spreadsheet? Well, you've got a spreadsheet program on your computer, hopefully, called Excel. But if you don't, no problem. Everyone has access to a Google spreadsheet from Google Drive. Okay, so for those that have Excel, if you don't know, I think we've been through this before, but go to your Start menu on Windows, if you have Windows, and go to Excel. It looks something like this. Mine's zoomed in, so it won't look exactly like that, but it looks something like this, just a bunch of squares. For those of you who don't have Excel, anyone can use from Google Drive spreadsheet. Here's how you get to this. What you do is you go to Google and go to Drive, and when you go to Drive you'll hit Create, and when you see Create you click on Spreadsheet, and Spreadsheet will bring you to something like this. So they look similar, Google Spreadsheet and Excel. They look similar. Excel's a little bit better, but Google Spreadsheet, for what we're doing, will do more or less the same thing. So either way, whatever one you have, use it. Okay, so what's the plan today? First off, you're not going to have to write anything down on paper for this lesson. This is all a follow along on the computer and do along on the computer thing. So as you're watching this video, have your spreadsheet program open. If you have Excel, open up Excel right now. Pause me if you have to right now. If you've got a Google spreadsheet, go and open it up right now. Again, go ahead, pause me now. And hopefully you have it open now. Okay, so have those things open. You're watching the video, you're pausing it along the way, and you're learning how to use this program or this program depending on what you got. Okay, so we want to graph relations like this guy here. Y equals x plus 1 using either Excel or a Google spreadsheet. Now, let's just jump right to it. I'm going to start with Excel. Now Excel and again the Google spreadsheet, they're very similar. They look the same, and the steps that I give you for Excel are pretty much the same as the Google spreadsheet. And I'll pause along the way and jump to the Google spreadsheet to show you how to do that, how to do it on there as well. Okay, so the first question was y equals x plus 1. We need to graph that, and so just to show you what I'm writing on my screen here, I'll bring the little keyboard down. The way I like you to see it in the notes is that if you can call this example 1, and the name of the equation, which was y equals x plus 1. That was the equation. Now normally, again, you could do this on Google spreadsheet too, the exact same thing. Let's just do it anyways. So again, put it here, sure. Example 1. Y equals x plus 1. Next, what you're going to do is make your table of values. Now this is just one big huge table. Let's make your table of values. X, come on. Why is this not working? X and Y. And you fill in your favorite 5 numbers. We'll do the same thing over on Excel. X, Y. Fill in your favorite 5 numbers. Now, here's where there's a little bit of difference between Google Docs, spreadsheet, and Excel. Our favorite 5, which starts with -2, -2, enter, -1. Now, those of you trying to do this on Google spreadsheet right now are probably thinking, what? It's not taking my negative signs. I'll be there in a second, hang on. So let's just fill this in again, our favorite 5 on Excel. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Excel takes it no problem at all. Google is a little bit worried and it's concerned that when you use a negative sign. So when you put -2, it's like it doesn't think that you really want a negative sign. It thinks that you made a mistake, so it doesn't write it down for you. What you need to do is say to Google, easy, take it easy, I know what I'm doing. Let me do my negative sign. So just backspace and clear that number out and do it again, -2. Now it takes it. -1, didn't take it. Clear it, do -1 again. And then 0 and 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. 2. Okay, now here's where the magic happens. You have your table of values, and normally you would put each x value into here and figure out what the y value is. Watch the magic that the spreadsheet program will allow you to do. We want to tell, hello, how you doing? We want to tell the Excel program that the first x value is here in this cell. They call this cell A4. So in cell A4, that is our x value. We want that to be added by 1. So we want to tell Excel that in this column here, I want you to take that number, and you have to call it A4. It won't, if you put -2, it's like, what are you talking about? You have to say that the value in that cell, you want to add 1 to it. Now to do that, here's what you do. To put any formula into Excel, you have to press equals first. The number that you want to deal with, which in this case is A4. Actually, when you click on it, it does it for you already. It tells you A4. It types it in for you. You can type it in or click on it, whatever. By the way, don't put 4A. It has to be the letter first. It doesn't like it the other way around. Like the letter first. A4, and we're going to add 1 to it. Add, whoops, 1. You press enter and it gives you the answer of -1. Let's double check. If we put -2 into here, -2 plus 1 would be -1. Okay, you're thinking that's no big deal, I could have done that in my head. Yeah, you could have. But again, realize the power of this thing. What if you have a big nasty question with a bunch of negative signs and fractions? Excel will do it for you. Now you don't have to enter a formula for the rest of them. This is the other cool thing. We will fill the rest of the table in. Here's how. Now watch this. See the plus right there? The little first aid plus sign, the thick plus sign? Watch what happens when I move it over the bottom right hand square there. It turns into a skinny plus sign. Thick plus sign, skinny plus sign. When it goes like that, skinny plus sign, click it and drag down to there. Let go, and it has filled the table in for you. Look at that. You didn't even have to even break a math sweat molecule at all in doing so. Same thing with Google Sheets. You enter the formula, which in this case, again, is x plus 1. We have to tell the value of x, which happens to be in the exact same cell, A4. This equal sign. A4, come on, A4 plus 1 gives you that. And you do the exact same thing. You make the little box thing around the first thing, and we tell the program, the spreadsheet program, that we want to fill the rest of the column using that same formula, and it'll do it for us. With Google, notice that there is no fat plus sign, but there's a skinny one right there. Actually really skinny. Again, so hover over, click, drag it down, and there it is. Filled. Okay, next, you have your table of values. we can also have the programs do a chart for us, do the graph. Here's how we do it. You select and highlight all the data, all the numbers that we want, and you go to Insert. Insert, and what we want is a scatter. We just want the dots. So look for scatter. We click that. And there the graph is made. Now the graph has some little tinkering that needs to be done. Google Docs and show you how they do it. So for them it's Insert, Chart. Come on. And again, I've made this larger, so it will green. Go to Charts, and you want to look for Scatter. Scatter, and those dots. And there's your graph. Okay, now what you do next to make this a little more manageable to view. Once you've made that, hit your chart there. It already has the points plotted there. Hit Insert, and there it is. Same thing on Excel. Let me just make the screen a little bit smaller. Come on, wake up. Okay, it's not working. So what I suggest on Excel, this, and there, again, there's the points right there. They are correct. Go on Excel, go to Layout, give yourself a title of the graph, which should be the name of the equation, which is y equals x plus 1. So y equals x plus 1. Done. I'd get rid of this. You don't need that series thing. And I like the up-down vertical line. So here's what you can do. You go to Layout, go to Grid Lines, Vertical Lines, Major, and it gives you a nice little grid. I would have liked that the main y-axis and the main x-axis lines were darker, but it's pretty good enough. Now on yours it'll probably be a little easier, kind of out of the way. Having a little technical difficulties. Move this chart to the side so that you can see your table of values. Move it to the side, and you're good to go. For Google Docs people, one advantage of Google Docs is it makes the axes, the x-axis and the y-axis darker, and there's the dots. For the chart title, same thing, y equals x plus 1, y equals x plus 1, and we're done. They didn't accept my y for some reason. Y equals, didn't accept my y for some reason, y. And we're done. Y equals x plus 1. Did it show up? Come on. Really quickly. Just equals x. Oh my god. Y equals. I'm okay. Just hang in there. Hang in there. Y equals x plus 1. Enter. There we go, finally. Come on. You can make little adjustments to it as well if you want to change the colors of these lines, but you know, it's good the way it is. You don't have to draw a line. If you can figure out how to draw a line on here, like with the arrows, the forever lines on the end, hey, I'd love to know how. There you are. That's how you do a graph. Let's do another example really quickly. I'll do it on Excel just because I'm more used to Excel, although Excel seems to be messing with me right now. Go away, go away, go away. Whatever, I'll do it down here. Okay, so the next example question that we have is y equals 2x plus 5. Same thing. So we have example 2, and it's y equals 2x plus 5. And we do our same old, same old. We do our table of values. Let's make some room. X, y. No, not you. And we put our favorite 5 numbers: -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Again, Google Spreadsheets, same thing, of course. It's all the same, except you have to worry about that little goofy negative thing that you have to do. Now, the formula here is saying we take any of the x value, which is the first one, which is in position A19. We take that, times it by 2, and add 5. To show that, in that box, you press equal sign, 2, for that 2 there, times 8, a little asterisk. Go, man. Shift that. There we go. So that means 2 times, and then we want that value there, A19. A19, the first value. So put A19 plus 5 equals that, which is correct because -2 times +2 is -4. -4 plus 5 is +1. Fill the table in, remember, go from the fat plus sign to the skinny one. When it's skinny, hold and drag down. There's your numbers. Do the same graphing thing as you did before. Highlight, chart, scatter. Okay. Same thing on Google Spreadsheet. Okay, so I'd like you to actually show the chart for that. When you show me your notes, do the chart, do it yourself. I'm not going to do it to save time. Okay, let's do example 3, which is a little bit trickier. Example 3. In example 3, look back at our notes, is looking like this. Y equals -3x minus 7. It's a pain in the butt to do by hand. Let's do it with a spreadsheet. -x minus 7. We do the exact same thing. Table of values. -2. 1. Come on, -1. 0, 1, 2. Now, the formula that you put in here, just get rid of this thing. The x value, the first one, is now in position E19 on my paper. I mean, on your spreadsheet thing, it might be a different spot. It depends on wherever you put it. Okay, but for mine here, it's E19. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to take -3 times the first x value, which is at E19, and subtract 7. So how that works, like this. Hit the equal sign, -3, -3 times the asterisk button, shift, asterisks, and then our value was under E19, so E19 minus 7 equals, there it is, Double check, -2 times -3 is +6, +6 minus 7 is -1. Have the chart fill it in for us. Fat plus sign, skinny plus sign, holds, drag down, table's done. Just like that. Again, highlight the numbers, go to insert chart, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. Okay, remember each chart should be labeled as well. Alright. The fourth example, which I'm not going to do fully on there, is this one here, y plus x equals 3. Now for this, if you just put it in as is, it's not going to really work. The Excel or the spreadsheet document needs to know what is y equal to. We need to know what y is by itself. So we have to rearrange this equation to make it so that y is by itself. The y is being bugged by the x, so we subtract x, the x's are gone, y equals 3 minus x, or y equals -x plus 3. Either way, put that into your spreadsheet program, do the whole table of values and formula thingy, and you're good to go. So what I'd like to see, even though I didn't show it, I showed you the table, the formula, and the graph of this, the table and formula, but not the graph of that. I want to see the graph of that. It's table, formula, graph, the three big things. So the table, your formula, which when I click on your first Y button there, I can see what the formula was, see if you did it correctly or not. You just didn't fill in the numbers in your head. You need to see that you actually did this using what I taught you, the table, the formula, and the graph that has to be labeled. You don't have to draw the line. If you can figure out how to draw a line on there, too much trouble, then go right ahead. So those three for that one, which I already did, this one, and this one, plus your three skill testing questions. This one, and this one. So again, when you see the table of values filled in, using the right equation, and a labeled graph. To show me your work, again, you don't have to write anything on paper. You shouldn't have anything on paper. Just bring up your laptop to me, or if you want, you can take a screenshot or email it to me if you're doing this at home. Alright, that's it. Bye.